Hi dolls!
Baby, go back in the bag.
Hey baby dolls, what's up and welcome back to the channel. Today is Friday, so y'all know what that means. Happy Fragrance Friday! Welcome and welcome back to the channel. If you are new, my name is Z and I love to do tons of fun feminine content on this channel. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you as part of the dollhouse. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure you press that bell notification so you are notified every time I drop a new video. All of my social medias will be sprinkled in the description box below. So now that you dolls know everything you need to know, let's go ahead and hop into the video. I am so super excited because in today's video, we are going to be reviewing Britney Spears' Fantasy Intense. Woo! Okay. Now, if you are not familiar with Britney Spears' perfumes, especially her fantasy line, you're gonna want to try these out. I have quite a few of her fantasy ones and they smell so good. I did try another one of her perfumes, Curious, and I did not like that one at all. So I feel like I just really love the fantasy line a lot more. Also, the packaging of the fantasy line is so gorgeous, so beautiful, and I love putting it on my vanity. So I do plan on collecting all of the ones from her fantasy line, so you guys can look forward to more Britney Spears fantasy perfume reviews in the future. But I picked this one up from Burlington and it was $19.99, you guys. $20 for a 3.3 ounce. I feel like that's a lot for $20, but we will see what the value is once we get into all of the fragrance notes, the packaging, and all of that. We will see if it's worth it for you dolls. I want to say the original price is around $60. Don't quote me. I am currently on the hunt for sexy summer scents, and then I'm gonna start looking for my essential summer scents. So I thought, let me pick up something that looked so like summery, and I felt like just looking at this box that it was giving summer vibes. It does have like the photo of the bottle on the back. So I just thought it was giving like very much like sexy, seductive vibes. It says daring, bold, and even more intense than the fantasy Britney Spears original. So I just don't know. I don't know, you guys. You let me know in the comments below if you tried this out before. But I just felt like looking at the packaging that it was giving very much sexy summer. And I tend to find that Britney Spears' fantasy fragrances in general tend to be more on the summery spring side and less on the like fall winter side. So I'm excited to try this out. If it's giving what it's supposed to give and what I'm expecting, we're gonna have a good one. Okay, it's gonna have to be a good one. So let me go ahead and pull up the fragrance notes for you guys. So it says Britney Spears' A Fantasy Intense is an indulgent and powerful fragrance, a sensual embrace of sweet floral, fruity, and gourmand flavors. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there and give you just a quick disclaimer. I am a gourmand girly. I tend to lean towards cake, cookie, candy like scents. That's just my vibe. I know it's not for everyone, but that's just what I like. I am definitely not a floral girly, but I've been getting into florals more, and I tend to lean more towards the sweet floral, which this does say sweet floral, fruity. Fruity sounds good for the summer, and gourmand flavors. Thank you, perfume gods. The head of the fragrance brings a delightful mix of sweet lychee, pear, and kiwi. Ooh, that sounds fire. Lychee, pear, and kiwi? That's fire. The heart brings a white chocolate accord. I don't know why these perfume designers keep adding white chocolate and notes of chocolate to their fragrances, because I never smell the chocolate note. So we'll see. I mean, I remember before in her original fantasy they said that it had notes of chocolate accord as well, and I just did not smell anything that smelled or resembled chocolate. So I don't know, we'll see. Part of the notes brings a white chocolate accord, a creamy sweetness enhanced with jasmine, orchid, and a cupcake accord. The base settles the scent with patchouli, musk, orris, and woods. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you guys right off the bat what are kind of a little bit of red flags for me that could be scary for me. The floral, but I'm gonna just be hopeful because I feel like they described it as a sweet floral, so I'm not going to like, I'm just gonna try to stay positive. Jasmine for me can be okay, but most times I hate it. Like, I just don't like it. It's such a strong floral scent that if it's not mixed with the other notes properly, it can just come out very, very, like, I don't know, too florally for me, almost very old lady like to me, like very powdery old lady, and I don't like that. Orchid, I get along with orchid as long as it's not too strong. The orris and the woods, I like woodsy notes, especially around the fall, but this is supposed to be a summer fragrance for me, so I'm hoping it's not going to be too woodsy. I'm hoping it's not going to be too musky or too orrisy, just because I'm looking for that fun, bubbly, summer, fresh, fruity, sweet scent. So that's what I'm hoping for. Those are my red flags, you guys. Everything else sounds really, really good. So let's go ahead and get into unboxing her. Ooh, now that's gorgeous. It's like plum. Yes for this. I am floored by this bottle, you guys. Now, this is a traditional bottle from the Fantasy line. All of the perfumes that come from this line have this bottle. It's the exact same bottle design, only they mix up the colors a little bit. So I just love this color combination. Like, this is giving sexy summer vibes. Like, I love it. It's like a plum, purpley, maroonish red color. It's so freaking pretty. I don't even know if the camera's doing it justice, you guys. It is such a gorgeous bottle. This color is so rich, and the rhinestones on the bottle are gold, which the rhinestones on the other bottles have been silver. It also had a bottle that had like the A and B stones on them. So they're switching up the rhinestones a little bit on each bottle, which I absolutely love. I think that is such a good idea and it's so cute. I am floored. This is giving me Middle Eastern sexy richness princess. Like, this is giving Princess Jasmine, okay? This is giving. I love this, you guys. The box, again, same style and design as her other boxes, only the colors are switched up, which for me is totally fine because it's from the same fragrance line. So of course the packaging is going to be very similar to the original. I just think that the colors on here are so pretty. I am loving and living for this. It's just such a freaking pretty bottle. Like, this is gonna go so pretty on my vanity. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and rate the bottle out of 10. I would probably give this bottle, a 6.5 out of 10. It's not my favorite bottle of hers, but I think it's definitely one of my favorites, if that makes sense. Like, it's definitely not like a 10 out of 10, but it's definitely giving me more of like a 6.5, a 6.8 out of 10. It's very, very pretty packaging. I think it's right on point with what I'm going for the summer. The only thing I feel like it is kind of weird is I'd have to smell it first, but just hearing the fragrance notes, I wouldn't expect the packaging to be this color for the fragrance notes. I would expect there to be like some type of plum note, some type of rich cherry, like dark cherry, black cherry, plum, and rum notes that would match this bottle style a little bit more. So just hearing the fragrance notes and the description of the fragrance, to me, I don't know if the packaging is matching that, but I definitely have to smell it. But I think it's so freaking pretty, you guys. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and officially give it like a 6.8 because it is such a gorgeous bottle. I do love the color combination. I love that they went with a gold rhinestone. Really, really cute, but it's just not top tier for me. Like, I don't know. We'll see what the vibes are. So we're gonna go ahead and test out this fragrance. I'm going to spray it in the air first to get a cold sniff and an atmosphere test, and then we will spray it on my skin so I can see what it smells like when it's mixed with my natural oils and my body chemistry on the warm sniff. So let's go ahead and get into that. Okay. Oh my god, look at this. It's such a pretty lid, you guys. All golds. I love when the cap matches like the neck of the bottle. I think one of hers, the neck of the bottle was different from the cap, and I really didn't like that. I think she had a silver cap and then the neck was a color. I would just prefer it to be like all match. I just think that that's so much cuter and pretty. And by the way, not to get off, but can we take a moment for my nails? Like, hello, these are from Amazon. If you guys are interested, I'll try and remember to leave a link below. I've had these on now for over a week. I got these to go on my trip to my brother's wedding in Chicago. I've since then come back, and you baby, they're still on and going strong. So these are really good nails, you guys, but I love them. So cute. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and do the cold snap. Let's see what she's giving. Oh, this smells good. This smells really good. It's definitely more on the sensual side, but I will say I feel like it smells a lot like the original. Yeah, I don't feel like it's that much different than the original. It's a little bit warmer in the air, I feel like, and it is a lot more, what's the right word, perfumey than the original. I feel like the original was a lot more sweeter than this. It's more like a sweet bitter note, which is sensual. I will say that this is a sensual fragrance. I do love this, you guys. I think I'm just not having that big of a reaction to it because it smells like something I already have, which is the original. It is a lot more spicier to me. I love the patchouli note in this. It is bouncing through so strong. I'm also getting the jasmine and the orchid note in there quite strong as well, but it's not like overpowering. I don't necessarily smell like cupcake accord. I just smell like a creamy sweetness in there, you guys. So I really do like that. I don't smell chocolate. However, I guess you could describe that like creamy sweetness as more of like a white chocolate, because if I'm not mistaken, you guys can comment below, but I don't think white chocolate has actual cocoa in it. I don't think it has like chocolate in it. I think it's just like something else. I'm not sure, but I don't necessarily smell like a cocoa scent. I do smell a burst of fruit, so I am getting like kiwi and pear, like a sweet kiwi and pear. And again, those florals are there pretty prominent, and they are much more of a sweet floral than a pungent, what would you call it? A pungent, planty floral, if that makes sense. So I really do like this. This is really, really pretty, you guys. I'm just not as shook about it because it smells so similar to me to the original Fantasy, only a little bit darker and a little bit more sensual, which I guess is kind of what I was looking for. I wish that the fragrance would have had a little bit more burst of fruit in there. I feel like the fruits are so sweet and they're tied so closely with the florals and even that musk that it isn't giving off it isn't giving off a strong enough fruity scent for me. Like, I wish there was some type of plummy note or some type of cherry note, like a lot more fruity is what I'm saying. I just wish it was a lot more fruity, but it still is fruity, but it's much more of a sweet fruity than a tangy fruity. I wanted more of a tangy fruity, more of a, not necessarily tropical, but just tangier. This is definitely more sweet fruit. So it's a really nice fragrance. I really do like it. I will still say I'm not as shook by it because it smells like the original fragrance. So on the cold sniff, I would rate this a 7 out of 10. It's still really good. Obviously, it smells like the original Fantasy, which is my favorite of hers. So of course I'm gonna love it, but it just doesn't smell different enough for me to give it like a 9 or a 10. You know what I mean? Like, it's just too similar to the other fragrance. Oh my God, does it look like I'm naked, you guys? I am definitely not naked. Like, I am definitely wearing clothes. I fixed the camera, you guys. I feel like I looked a little bit naked, and I didn't realize that until I looked at my phone and I could see in the camera that I look a little naked. So I positioned the camera so you guys can see. I have a top. YouTube, don't demonetize me. I have on clothes, okay? I'm not really getting a strong woodsy note in the air, which isn't surprising to me. Most often, woodsy notes come out more on my skin than they do in the air. I am, however, getting a musky note. This is very much a sexy, sensual, musky fragrance. I feel like this is, I would describe this fragrance as a musky gourmand, like a sensual musky gourmand, because the florals in it are so sweet and they marry so well with the sweetness of the fruit and also the gourmand flavors that they really don't come off as like a floral. They come off as like kind of like a light floral. They don't really come off as like a pungent floral. So I would consider this much more of a sweet, sensual, gourmand musk. That's how I would describe this. This is definitely something I would probably wear on a date. Yeah, I just don't feel like I would wear this on like a daytime basis. Like, oh, I'm gonna go to work, let me put this on. Or, oh, I'm gonna go to run an errand, let me put this on. This is definitely for me more of an upscale event, more of an occasion type fragrance, something special like a dinner date, something like that. This is definitely not your daytime everyday scent in my opinion. So yeah, I really do like it. Also, the patchouli in there smells so rich, and I really do love that patchouli note and the way that they did that. The patchouli with the kiwi, chef's kiss. Okay, let's go ahead and spray it on our skin and see what we get. Also, with the spray cap, I noticed that it doesn't come out as aromatic as I had hoped. I like when fragrances spritz out very soft. This one was a little bit there was a little bit tension between the spray, and I feel like it came out a little bit more dense and a little bit more harsher than I would have liked. I really do like a soft burst of like a round burst that's soft. It did come out round, it just wasn't as soft as I would like. So that kind of take a few points off of packaging for that, I feel. But oh, it smells so pretty. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. This is her and she be, okay? This is her and she ate. This fragrance on my skin ate. It's kind of giving me like, even though there's not cherry in there, I kind of am getting like a hint of cherry, a hint of like deep, rich patchouli, kiwi, the pear notes, you guys. So done so beautifully. Definitely smell that musk in there. The woodsy notes are coming out a little bit more. Still not as strong as I had expected. I think once the fragrance starts to dry down on my skin a little bit more, like I said, those woodsy notes will pop up a lot more and be a lot more prominent alongside of the musky notes as well. I am smelling much more of the cupcakey note that they had mentioned before. I didn't really get cupcake in the air. It was much more of like a sweet, creamy note, but now I smell the sweet creamy note alongside like more of a rich cupcakey note. Not necessarily vanilla cupcake, but just like there's a cakey cadence in the undertones of this fragrance for sure. I really do like that. That's really nice. Again, I don't smell the white chocolate. I do, however, smell a creamy sweetness that could be conveyed as white chocolate, if that makes any sense. Really do smell the jasmine a lot stronger on my skin. Also, I'm smelling a bit more orris on my skin than I did in the air. I will say I love this fragrance a lot more on my skin than I did in the air. However, I wish the orris on my skin. That guys, my camera died, but I am back, and I was just saying that I would have appreciated the orris note on my skin to be a little bit lighter. I feel like it's a little too strong on my skin. I really wasn't getting the orris in the air. The jasmine note is really prominent. It smells so pretty. Again, sweet, soft florals on my skin. This is giving me a luxury princess royalty vibes. This is giving I live in Dubai, I have homes and palaces all over the world type vibes. This is definitely giving upscale royalty luxury vibes. I would highly recommend this again as a date night scent or an upscale event night scent. This is giving nighttime vibes. This is very sensual and sexual in my opinion. I don't feel like I would wear this on any other occasion except for something like that. Oh my god, it smells so freaking pretty. Oh my god, I just feel like I have like a long, beautiful gold sari on, and I am literally just dancing my way through the halls of my palace in Dubai. Like, that is what I feel. I feel like if I went on a trip to Dubai, I would take this fragrance with me. Oh yes, 100%. Like, I love this. This is so beautifully done. It's also a very, very potent on my skin. It's giving the same level of potency, I feel, almost as potent as the original Fantasy, because I feel like that fragrance was pretty potent as well. Some of her other ones were a little bit lighter, like Sheer was really light, and a few of the other ones were really light, but this one actually is on the same potency level, if not a little bit under the original. I really do like this one. So for potency level on this, I'm gonna give potency level, you guys, I'm gonna give potency level a 7.8 out of 10. It's a really high potency level. Again, not as high as like a designer fragrance like Marc Jacobs or anything like that, but it is pretty freaking potent. This even kind of reminds me of the same kind of category as Yara by Lattafa. If you guys saw my review on that, if you didn't, go check that out. I do have a fragrance playlist with all of the fragrances I've reviewed in the past. I feel like this is along the same type of, like the same type of genre of fragrances. It's much more of like a luxury, royalty, princess type vibe fragrance, very sensual but also sweet, like femininity at its highest and it's most central. That's what I feel like. Obviously, this is not Yara by Lattafa, so it's just not Yara by Lattafa, okay? That's a different fragrance. But it's in that same type of category, if you guys kind of get my drift. If you've ever smelled that fragrance before, I really do like this. I definitely like it on my skin a lot more than I do in the air. In the air, it was just giving me basic Fantasy vibes, like the original Fantasy vibes, which is good. It's not bad, you guys. It just wasn't that different. When I sprayed it on my skin, now I really do smell the difference. It does smell like the original, but it is quite different. It is very much more of a sensual, sweet, sexy gourmand. Again, I would describe this, however, still as more of like a sweet, I would describe it as like a sensual, sweet gourmand musk. That's how I would describe it. There are hints of floral in there, but like I said, the way that the floral is married with the fruit, and both the floral and the fruit is very sweet, it's just giving much more of a sweet gourmand, sexy, sensual, musky note. It is going down on my arm quite a bit though, so the dissipation, I'm not really happy with that. I would have liked it to stay on my skin and linger a little bit longer. It is highly potent, but the lingering of it is not very strong in length. I would just expect it to linger a little bit more. It is, however, though, falling much more down into more of a sweet powdery musk, which could be the idea of like a woodsy musk. Yeah, I could see how that could be conveyed as like a woodsy musk. But it's definitely going down to a sweet powdery musk, which I happen to like. I still feel like it's still very sensual, and I really do like that. So on my skin, I'm definitely going to probably give it a, I really like this. I just don't feel like I would wear it all the time because it is such a sensual scent. But I would give it probably like a, like, I don't feel like it's a 8. I don't feel like it's an 8. I feel like a 7. I would go ahead and give this fragrance on my skin a 7, only because I just wish the Oris wasn't as strong on my skin, and also because it's dissipating a little bit quicker than I had liked on my skin. But other than that, it's a really good fragrance, and I do really like this. And still, a 7 is pretty high, you guys. Not every single time when I like a perfume or I love a perfume, it's gonna get a 10 out of 10. Like, for it to get a 10 out of 10, that has to be like a perfect fragrance, or it has to, or when I say a 12 out of 10, like, it has to blow my freaking mind. This was really good. It has some unexpected things happen in it, but it didn't blow my mind, you know what I mean? So I couldn't really give it a 10. I really honestly felt like this isn't more than a 7. I do, however, think for the price point though, you guys, let's just go ahead and talk about that. The price point of this is, it's a steal, you guys. If you can get your hands on this for the summer, it's a steal. I absolutely love this. This is the perfect sexy summer scent, you guys, especially for like vacation or trips or like a boocation. What do they call that? A baycation or something like that. This would be perfect for that, you guys. So if you get your hands on this, definitely go and pick it up. It is definitely a steal. 20 bucks for this. It smells so freaking good, and like I said, the potency is so high, so a little bit of this goes a long way. You don't need to spray too much, so you will have this last a lot longer for you. Again, longevity, we'll talk about it in the comments, but I will say it did start to dissipate quite quickly. Those notes started to turn down quite quick than I had expected or wanted for myself. I just feel like at a potency level this high, the longevity should have been a little bit longer, and it wasn't quite there for me. I will let you guys know how long it like ultimately ended up staying on my skin in the comments below if you guys are interested. Just ping me down there and we'll chat about it. So at the end of the day, price point for me gets a 10 out of 10. I think it's a steal. Okay, something new that I wanted to talk about that I normally don't talk about is the throw in a space. I did spray the fragrance, and in the time that my battery died and I went all the way to my office to grab a new one, I wanted to come back in the room and see about the throw. Like, how far did it transfer? And to be honest with you guys, it didn't transfer too far. It stayed within the room. So in this area, I would say it has a decent enough transfer where you're gonna smell it, but it's not one of those fragrances like you walk in the room and everybody's like, who is that? Like, it's not, it doesn't have that level of throw. Like, I feel like you need to be by the person or in the person's vicinity or meeting the person or talking to the person to actually smell the fragrance that strongly. Otherwise, it's gonna blend in with everyone else until you get close enough to smell it. But when you do get close enough to smell it, you guys, the potency on it is really, really nice. And that could be because of the longevity. The throw couldn't have gone that far because maybe it just couldn't make it that far because it didn't last as long to make it that far. But yeah, so the throw I just kind of felt like was For throw, I would probably give it a 5 out of 10 for throw. It was decent, but it wasn't like a you know who I am when I walk in the room type throw, if that makes any sense. Let me go ahead and get into the overall rating of this fragrance. I feel like I've expressed everything that I was feeling inside about the fragrance, my initial impressions, what I thought about it, and everything like that. So I don't have too much more to say outside of the fact of I want to go ahead and give this one a rating. Overall, I'm gonna go ahead and give this fragrance a 6.8. I think it's a really nice summer scent. I could definitely see myself picking this up for like dates and stuff like that, but I just don't see myself wearing it like every day and continuously. But definitely one I would pick up in the summer. I also just didn't like the way it smelled so closely to the original. I think that's really what took down the points for me. I think if this was drastically different than the original, I would have probably gone ahead and given it like maybe a 9 or a 10, but because it smelled so much like Original Fantasy, I was just kind of like I feel like if I had the Original Fantasy and I had to choose between the two, I would choose the Original Fantasy. Like, I would feel like I wouldn't need this one, but I'm happy I do have it because I can wear it in the summertime on dates and stuff like that. But is it a must for me? Is it a must buy for me? Would I buy this fragrance again? I'm not entirely sure. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's not right now a must for me. Now, don't get me wrong, over time I have changed my mind about fragrances, and fragrances that I used to hate in the past I've grown to love. So I'm not saying like indefinitely I would like not buy this ever again. I'm just saying that I don't know. I have to see how I feel about it, how often I wear it compared to my other fragrances. Would it be worth it for me to buy it again? I don't know. It's definitely worth it to pick it up during the summertime, especially for the price point. It's a really good price for what you get, but I just feel like I'd probably pick up my Original Fantasy a lot more than this one, much more on a daily basis. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know if this is a must buy for me. I'm gonna go ahead and say it isn't a must buy. Maybe it's a must buy for the summer, but just in general for me, it's not a must buy. So yeah, that's the reason why I went ahead and gave it a 6.8 out of 10. I think it's a really great sensual scent. I just don't feel like I get enough wear out of it, and I also just just feel like it's too closely linked to the original Fantasy and I needed a little bit something different. I was also hoping and wishing that something with this type of packaging would be much more of like a plummy cherry notes. I was really hoping for notes of cherry and plum. I didn't get that, and I think if they would have added those notes in there a little bit more and with that route, it would have been a lot different than the original Fantasy, and I would have definitely loved this more. However, like I said, it's still a good fragrance, and I do feel like the fragrance do match the vibe of the bottle after I smelt it, because this is a very central packaging and I feel like the scent is very central as well. But yeah, that is my rating. I'm gonna give it overall a 6.8 out of 10. Okay, baby dolls, that was it. That was my review of Britney Spears Fantasy Intense. I hope you dolls enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Please be sure to let me know in the comments which fragrance you'd like me to review next. I do keep a list and I will be reviewing them. I love you dolls. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Bye dolls! In today's video, we are going to be reviewing, oops, I skipped a lot. In today's video, we are going to, okay, stop. And so you guys can look for, I am sinking on the pillows. This one isn't as sweeter. This is definitely for me an upstale.
Baby, go back in the bed.